Hello everyone and welcome along to the second round of the WCSLeague Menno Megane Trophy. Apologies for the slightly delayed start of the broadcast. We have missed qualifying results of that, but we'll be sure to run through the results for you and all will be fine on that front. So, let's not dilly-dally any longer. I'm Josh Ranson, back at it once again in the broadcast booth, and alongside me for the first time this season is an actual Sam Jones. Great to have you here.
Yeah, hello Josh, hello guys at home. Yeah, it is great to be here as well. Sorry I missed the first one, but glad to be here nonetheless. And it looks like we're going to have a bit of some spicy racing today as well, considering that the weather from Austria seems to have followed us over.
Yeah, it's gone from Austria to Belgium. It's just followed it over. We got rain here as well, and it was a very rainy qualifying session. And Bart de Vos took full advantage of that. A whole 7/10ths quicker than his next fastest rival, Tobias Olsen, in second place there. But the real star of qualifying was Thomas Hinds, qualifying all the way up in third. Fantastic quality for the Australian.
Yeah, great result by Hinds, and of course he had a decent run out last time in Australia as well. Austria as well, sorry. But it looks like he's continuing that on and showing that he has actually got some pretty decent pace in these cars today.
He has got some fantastic pace, especially in the rain it seems. Third qualifying, and you wouldn't put him past him from having another great result. I mean, he's already quite high up in the championship standings. And, you know, really going to be a threat this season if this keeps going. And, well, Chris Shepard fourth in the Stax Racing car. I keep getting Epic and Stax mixed up. But, yeah, Stax Racing in the fourth place on the grid. Argo T-Double start in fifth for Eval Sim Racing team. Of course, slightly different colour scheme to last year, but our reigning touring car champion Tida will start fifth, and Sven de Vries in the Totally Spies Racing car in sixth place. Then from Muscat in seventh, Shorten eighth, Shiranku ninth, and Dan Brewer rounding at the top 10. So good qualifying from a lot of people there.
Yeah, good qualifying by quite a few guys, and a difficult one as well. They must have really found it quite difficult during the wet weather, of course, and it just means that a few guys, I think, struggled further back as well to get some pace. But we'll see what the weather's like come the race. It might be a different story. It means that we might get a very different field compared to the grid.
Yeah, it could be a very different story come the actual race. Of course, the two-race format here in the Megane Trophy. A longer first race, followed by a shorter second one with a reverse grid. And, well, if drivers didn't have a very good race out in Austria, it won't be the end of the world for them, because we've introduced drop scores for this season, Sam, and that means, of course, that the worst result of the season for each driver gets basically written off. They don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, really good implementation as well, and it just means that any drivers who have got other things to do, like going on holiday or, you know, something else that they really should be doing, because nothing's more important than WCS. It just means they could drop that, and if you are one of the drivers that turns up every round, well, you can still have a bad round and pretty much be equal with everyone else in terms of what happens then, because you drop your worst round. And yeah, a nice little thing to have there. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't go your way on the day.
Yeah, nice little thing to have. Of course, 12 race calendar, I believe, and we're only counting the top 11 results for each driver, so it gives them a bit of leeway, and it is a great idea in that sense, and hopefully it's going to make the championship more competitive, because, you know, we've seen championships in real racing and in sim racing where drop scores have actually affected the final results, you know, where a driver may have scored more points overall, but on drop scores they've lost out, so you never really know what's going to happen.
No, you're never quite sure. Well, we got a nice long season as well this year, so plenty of things to go wrong or plenty of things to go right, and who knows, we might find a dark horse along the way as well.
We might do, yeah, and of course Zolder in itself, a very interesting circuit, of course, home of the Belgian Grand Prix back in the old days for Formula 1, now obviously more known for other racing series, but it's got a lot of heritage, this circuit, and it's very tricky as well, left-handers, right-handers, a lot of 90-degree plus turns in the first four, then you got a chicane, then you got another chicane, then you got a big, long corner here, and then another chicane, so, you know, it really is one of the old guard of tracks.
Yeah, the walls are so close to the side of the track as well. There's really not that much runoff, and a lot of grassy areas. You know, it's not these new tarmac runoff tracks, and even lacking some gravel in some places. So it can be very unforgiving, especially if it's going to be wet like it has been so far today. I think you're really going to see some drivers pay the price for making just the slightest of mistakes.
Yeah, grass and gravel, of course, the old-fashioned way of slowing cars down, and that's what I'm sure people will be experiencing if they go off track here at Zolder. So, you know, very interesting. You're going to have to be on your guard 24/7, and we're going to have to be on our guard 24/7 to get the corner names right, but that's a story for another point in the broadcast at least, and I'm sure that, you know, corner names are going to be the least of these drivers' concerns. Actually, just getting around the circuit will be what they're worried about.
Yeah, that's really going to be the thing now for these guys, and I guess most of them actually have gone out in warm-up so far to just get a feel of the track. I don't think that's a bad idea at the moment. It looks like it's a drying track, so perhaps giving drivers some idea of if the track continues to dry into the race. But of course, it could be completely different. We don't quite know what we're going to see until we get there, and that's really what's going to make it very interesting today.
Yeah, interesting race coming up, and I'm just watching these cars go around. I'm watching Daniel Brewer at the moment, who's quickest in this warm-up session in that Renault Megane, and, you know, just listening to the V6 whine away as he powers it around these tracks. These are lovely cars, these Meganes, and, well, Brewer not making it look too difficult out there, but with the conditions the way they are, they're going to be quite treacherous, Sam, because, well, 85% wetness off the racing line, and I can't see a dry line at any point on that track, so I have to assume it's about 30 to 40%. Of course, there are dry patches under the track and the bridges, and that will throw people off, because it throws TrackMac plugin and live racers off, of course, so, you know, the race directors and the race engineers are going to be struggling for actual on-track wetness here, but I'd assume it's around 30 to 40%.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to feel, isn't it? And whether drivers are going to have to switch from the wet to the dry tyre, or maybe the other way around. It really depends on what happens. I think it's just going to have to come down to the confidence that each of the drivers have and the feel that they have for the racetrack as well. And I think that's definitely going to show who are the great drivers and who are the good drivers here today. And one of those guys who's surely looking good so far is Bart de Vos. I'm still so impressed by his qualifying performance that he put in, and he's really showing that he's got these cars under control. He's got a good understanding of them, and he's got this weather situation all sorted out as well.
Yeah, weather sorted, driving sorted. It all seems very sorted on that front, and well, I'm just interested to see how this race goes, because it's 25 laps, 45 minutes, or 40 minutes, whichever comes first. That will be the distance covered. You know, we have a time limit and we have a lap limit, so we get both bases covered here in WCS League. You know, we don't go over time because there's rain. We will keep to a 40-minute limit, and otherwise it's just going to be a 25-lap race. So it's going to be interesting to see how much of it we manage to do. Of course, we're expecting about 1 minute 40 laps in these wet conditions, so, you know, not really any surprise there, because it's a slow circuit with the rain, slightly quicker when you don't have the rain, but it is drying out now, so we might see the lap times increase as the race continues.
Yeah, it's going to be ever moving, ever changing constantly through the race, and well, surely through this warm-up session as well, that we're seeing the lap times continuing to tumble. And I think that's why a lot of drivers are actually out there today. They're really taking advantage of this, getting their homework in right now, which is super critical.
Yeah, important stuff to really know what you're doing around treacherous conditions like this, and a difficult track like Zolder, of course, as we said, very unforgiving in places, so they're going to have to watch themselves as they go around the track, and round the 25-lap race goes, well, I assume we'll have a 12 or 13-lap race for the second, and that'll be 20 minutes in length. So, you know, this is a longish circuit in that sense. You know, not as many laps to do with, but there is more track. Yeah,
there is. There's a lot more to deal with, and it actually looks like it's raining again now, just seeing out there.
It is.
It definitely looks like the rain is coming down, so...
that's just going to make it worse.
It is, it certainly is. Any drivers that may have thought about going out onto dry tyres here in warm-up definitely won't be doing that now. It's looking more and more difficult to get the power down in these cars, and really is starting to rain heavily.
Well, it's just, you can't even see a dry line, can you, watching the trials go around? There was just no dry line there whatsoever. It's just, why would you even go out on slicks? I mean, some people might think it's dry enough, but it's all down to feel, and it's all down to how you feel it's going. There will be a lot of personal preference looking at it in this race, I feel, and we'll be seeing a lot of different things from drivers, maybe a couple of alternate strategies perhaps, but definitely going to be interesting to see how it goes, Sam.
Yeah, this track surface is so dark, it's really hard to see what's going on with it. Crazy stuff if there isn't any dry line out there, but maybe that's the case. I think the rain stopped and the sun is back out again, but well, that's all unimportant now, isn't it? Now we're coming to the end of the warm-up session. It's really just a case of a few drivers that are still out there just completed whatever laps they're on.
Yeah, it really is going to be a interesting start to this race. We've got a great load of drivers doing a great load of things going into this round, and of course the championship just kicking off. Of course, it's very close still, only going off the results of round one, but you know, it could be interesting to see if an interesting round like this, you know, if this is going to end up being anyone's drop round, if Austria will be the drop round, if a later round will be the drop round, and well, this it makes it more interesting as well when we have rain, because you never really know what's going to happen. You can guess, but rain, as we always call it, is the great equalizer. It brings everyone onto a level playing field, and it really can bring a field a lot closer, because you know, if you don't expect it, everyone's caught in the same boat. They're all off guard. Yeah,
and sometimes you get the odd one or two drivers that somehow manage to preempt it, and they've got a wet setup on or something like that, and the gamble can pay off. I remember last time out in the GP3 race in Austria, we had a few drivers pitting very early on, switched over to the dry tyres, didn't they, when the track was just starting to dry up, and they got it absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I got it spot on, and it's going to be interesting to see how this progresses then, to see how people go, and if anyone can preempt it. Of course, we're just in the warm-up now, and it does take a short while for the final race conditions to be dialed in, so I think we're seeing a lot of drivers wait until the last moment to go out, although at the moment it is raining and there are clouds in the air. That might change in a couple of seconds, because rFactor 2 does like to just give it a couple of seconds to sync up the live weather that we have here at WCS, of course taken from the following day rather than the same day, and really just ultimately find the right settings, and I do believe that's going to happen now, so we're going to see what the final conditions are going to be. It's looking like it's going to be wet then, with rain to come down at the start of this race as the drivers are going out onto the grid to grid up. We will see exactly how this formation lap proceeds, but one thing that we do know is that it is going to be a Wouters Automotive Renault Megane leading us off the start line grid. Of course, 24 cars taking the start of this race, and the first of them is Bart de Vos, with a stunning qualifying 7/10 ahead of anybody else. Really the favourites to win this race, but then you got Tobias Olsen in second, and he is as much of a threat as anyone. Always quick, always maximum attack, doesn't know the meaning of tyre conservation or backing off Tobias, just goes flat out all the time, and that's what we love about him. And then the ever-present, always likeable Thomas Hinz, stunning qualifying in third. Maybe he could be a dark horse for the race win as well. Chris Shepard, though, will be chasing him down in fourth place. Another fantastically talented driver, and the Stax Racing driver surely will be targeting his podium, if not the win himself. Argo Tita, reigning touring car champion, will start in fifth for Eval Sim Racing Team, and then Surrender Vries for Totally Spies Racing in sixth. Team still without a livery, mind, so it can be difficult to differentiate the cars without a livery, but De Vries sixth. Jason Muscat in the Multiforce GP car will be 7th, then Roy Schroten 8th for Racing Team Schroten. Then Daniel Schrank in the second Wouters is 9th, followed by Dan Brewer in 10th. Then it's Kevin Samwood 11th in the second Multiforce. And Niranjan Kumar rounds out row 6 for Racing Team Schroten. If you'd like to do the rest of the grid, Sam?
Absolutely. Wesley Stefano then lines up on row 7 for Hinz Motorsport with Gaten Essart for the BR46 Racing Team. Then Roy Vasal is in 15th place for Performance Racing with Eric Godakis for Ice Cold Racing in 16th. Mark Fuller for ST is in 17th with Neil Voss for Stax in 18th. The second of the ST Racing cars of David Nichols is in 19th with Simon Watman in 20th for Backmarker Legends. Eric Stanford lines up on in 21st place, that is, with Dan Hutt for JFF Racing in 22nd. His teammate, I should say, Roland Hutt, is right behind him in 23rd, and Rick Scott for CM Tech Racing rounds out this 24 car grid.
Yeah, well, Menno Klont just telling us, reminding us about the whole father-son combo thing going on with Dan and Roland Hutt there. So, you know, obviously nice to have Menno's input, of course. And, well, Sam, looking at this grid, anyone potentially sticks out for the race win?
Difficult one this is, isn't it? But I'm going to have to go for Bart DeVos because he was so dominant in qualifying. Be silly to go against him.
Bart DeVos really is where the smart money is, isn't he? Well, I'm not one to go with the smart money. I can't help but say Thomas Hinz. I want him to win this. I'm going to back him. Go on, Hinzy. As well, but now we just wait for the lights to illuminate here at Zolder. Waiting for the cars to get underway. And the cars rev up. I think the lights are on and they're off and we'll go. So, good start from Olsen by the looks of it. He's got a stellar start there. Already chasing down DeVos. Hinz seems to have been caught by Shepard, though, who's going to go through into turn 1. De Vries, Muscat, all chasing Sharanku as well. As everyone's piling into the first 10. Bit of a squiggly moment for Golodakis down in 15th. He's dropping positions now. And, well, we've got prop cars up and down the field doing things at the moment, but DeVos pulling away, but Olsen giving chase, getting a bit squiggly, and he's alright. Hinz is holding third, though, from De Vries and Muscat. Shepard must have had an issue. He seems to have gone down the grade. Brewer's off as well. Very difficult to get these cars under control in the opening lap, but everyone seems to be managing thus far, Sam.
Yeah, a bit crazy there. I think I saw, I don't quite know who it was, whether it was Watman or someone like that spinning on the
oh dearie me, Roy Bazar's lost it big time coming into the Kleiner chicane there. He's just going to have to hold me trying to spin around. He did a rally style spin there. Well played, Roy. Gets through the chicane nicely. David Nichols retires with suspension issues out on lap 1. That is a bad thing for him. Obviously would have wanted a better start to this race. De Vries though chasing Hinz. Olsen chasing DeVos. Battles forming already. We're only 3% of the race. Is Brewer around as well. Brewer's had an incident. He's got caught up in the havoc and he's going to have to turn around, get himself going again. He's going to drop a lot of places in the meantime. Chris Shepard obviously down to 9th after the problems at the start, chasing down Wesley Stefano in the Hinz car. He was chasing Hinz, now he's chasing Hinz's teammates. And Dan Hutt is being overtaken by Kevin Stobart, who's massively overshot the corner. He's going to have to rejoin as well. Essart, Tina, Hutt, Kumar, Shepard, Stefano going up to 8th, but it's going to be Bart DeVos leading us off into the second lap.
Yeah, crazy start there, crazy first lap as well. I still don't think it's all settled down as Hinz is coming down the straight with De Vries quite close behind him as well. Didn't know if there was going to be a bit of an overtake over there, but it looks like the top 7 have all managed to pull away from the field a little bit. And then Wesley Stefano in 8th has got Chris Shepard right in his tail. Shepard now, of course, trying to recover after losing a few positions at the start there, and looking very racy indeed right now.
We've got a sensational battle going on for 11th in all this. Dan Hutt's had a stormer of a start there, the young Dutchman, and he's being... Oh, contact with Tina! I was just saying they're having a great battle, but the reigning champion goes off after a collision with Hutt there. That's not gone well. They're being chased by Essart there. And, well, Hutt was on the outside, and, oh, he lost control. That's what it was. He just dropped the back, and he couldn't help but go into Tina there. Just dropped the back. Couldn't have saved that, but they've both suffered big time there. Both down in the dumps now. Roland Hutt's gone off ahead of them, so that is not good for their team. And, well, that was a great battle, but it's just gone a bit drastically wrong, and it's so easy to make mistakes around here. That can happen sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like he just got lucid Hutt, and well, Ted was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and after a disastrous start, it's just got worse for him, and he's all the way back down in 19th.
And, well, obviously it's looking interesting so far as well between Shepard and Kumar as well, battling it out in 9th and 10th at the moment, though. Nirvana has just got a bit deep into turn 8 there. He's going to have to worry about getting back up to Shepard now. Cost him a little bit of time, but I'm sure he's not going to be put up by too much, though. Sven de Vries still chasing Hinz for the final podium spot, though. 2 and 3 there, as we do lose Daniel Brewer from this race as well.
Yeah, another driver with suspension issues. It looks like if you make a bit too much contact with the wall with these cars, suspension doesn't seem to like it, and a couple of drivers have already had to back out because of that. Very disappointing for them, but hopefully they'll be back for race 2.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be back for race 2, giving it another crack. Obviously, shorter race, sometimes it suits people a little bit better, as I see Eric Golodakis is probably looking to make up 12th place here. Essart ahead of him has just made a bit of a mistake, but Golodakis not closing in as quickly as he'd like. Bob's going to have to size and move up into somewhere else here. But De Vries still chasing Hinz. Hinz now catching Olsen. And this is unprecedented. We've talked about how good Hinz is, but Olsen just not finding grip in the wet here, and Hinz starting to make up ground.
Yeah, Olsen was doing alright, wasn't he, to begin with, but obviously kept his position where he qualified, but now coming under increasing pressure from Hinz, and De Vries is coming along nicely as well.
Oh, and he almost goes off there in the run-up here to, he's coming up, it was the run-up, he's coming up, that was out of 7, he's coming up to the Balderbehaarspel box here, and that is a mouthful to pronounce, but I've managed it just about. Hinz is really closing here, I reckon he could be on for 2nd.
You've been waiting to show that one off for ages, haven't you, Josh? But yeah, you're right. Hinz is definitely looking good. Roy Schroeter as well had a bit of an off-track excursion.
Oh, and here goes Olsen off the track, you see? This is the thing, if you can't find the grip, you're going to go off. And now that's going to give Hinz a perfect run down into 1. Olsen's going to go defensive as he has to, but it all seems a bit futile because Hinz has got such a better speed differential into Erster here. And through goes Hinz into P2 now. I don't want to jinx it for the Aussie, but can he catch De Vos? Because he's only 3 seconds ahead.
Well, he's got a perfect opportunity now, hasn't he? And a good chance to stretch his legs. Let's see what he can do. If he can find the pace to really push and go for it. These cars are looking extremely loose right now, but Hinz just seems to have a nice gentle touch to it, and maybe that's what can pay off.
Yeah, interesting stuff indeed, and well, we've lost Essard as well. Unfortunately, we have lost him, and that is a shame. He was running very well up until that point in about 12th place, but he seems to have gone off and had a bit of an incident somewhere along the track. Obviously, the wet weather catching a lot of people out in this race then, as we thought it might, because these Meganes are tricky cars, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. I think they're mid-engined, I believe. Yeah, they're mid-engined, rear-wheel drive. Not the best combination in terms of outright stability, Sam. And in the wet, it just becomes harder.
Yeah, really seen that. The back ends are getting out. The front of the car looks really pointy as well, I've noticed. And it looks like any little correction really does make a big difference, as Olsen is coming under a lot of pressure now from Sven De Vries. He's right on his tail, and we'll have to see whether De Vries can make his way past or not, and keep up with Hinz, who's definitely pulling away after getting past Olsen.
This is what Hinz needs, really. De Vries and Olsen a battle, because it's going to give him a crack at Bart de Vos, who he's actually closing down here, because Bart de Vos's last lap was a 1:41 dead. Hinz is a 1:41.4, but he's made time up this lap. De Vos's was a 1:41.8. Hinz's was a 1:41.3. So, given the right conditions, if Bart de Vos starts tripping up, Hinz is going to slice that time down. He's closing in on De Vos by the looks of it, and if De Vries and Olsen battle, he'll be able to pull away from them as well.
Yeah, it's great last lap. We'll have to see now. Can as Hinz just gets a bit looser, can De Vos reply to that, or is he just taking it easy at the moment, or does he have a bit more in reserve? This is going to be interesting to see now over the next lap or two.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes, really. De Vries and Olsen, though, in this epic scrap for third at the moment, chasing down Hinz in second, of course. But all this pressure on Olsen, I don't want to see him make him crack. He's a great driver, but obviously, if he's going maximum attack all the time, that gives you lots of room for mistakes. They've just come through the Kleiner chicane here. They're coming in through Butzer now and into the Telamen box. And, well, De Vries and Olsen giving it the full beans around this track. They don't care that it's raining. They're going to chase Hinz down if it kills them. Which you'd rather it didn't, of course, because there's a lot of paperwork associated with that, but...
They're absolutely going for it right now, aren't they? And fair play to them, because this is exactly what we want to do.
He's trying to look on the outside of the Balderbehaarspel box there, but it hasn't worked out for the Dutchman in any way. It's not worked out. Olsen has gained a bucket of time out of that. Now we can chase Hinz down, and Thomas Hinz won't be happy that he's going to have an Olsen on his back sooner rather than later. De Vos, though, still leading by quite a mile over Hinz at the moment. Actually seems to be pulling the gap out now.
Yep, he's maybe just seen the threat from behind and decided to now respond. He perhaps was just looking after his tyres or something like that as well, because it is such a long race now, isn't it, in the Meganes, as it really is starting to rain quite heavily.
It is quite hard raining now. Niranjan Kumar and Chris Shepard know that all too well. They're having a bit of a scrap here for 9th, and Ball's got a bit squiggly out of the final turn. The Jackie X chicane there, and Shepard gets the inside. Kumar forced the outside. That's going to slow him down massively. Forced onto the wetter part of the racetrack. Of course, it is now 80% offline, and imagine it's 40% online minimum. So these drivers are dealing with a lot of wetness here, and if they go off the track, it's even worse.
Yeah, it really is, and it looks super duper difficult right now. So Olsen is not looking too bad, not looking too threatened. Muscat's about there as well. It definitely looks like these guys have just spread out a little bit. As looks like DeVos just maybe lost a bit of time through the chicane as well. I think all of them are just concentrating now on their lines, of really being extra careful, because of course the tyres would have got a bit worn at this point, being of course the way through the race, and they're really having to take the demand of all this extra water coming down from the sky. Yeah,
really tipping it down in terms of rain now, really precipitating hard. And well, Shepard, Kumar, they all know it. Shorten knows it, Sharanku knows it, Muscat knows it, Bartabas knows it, even Essart knows it, and he's out of the race. But if you don't know it's raining, where are you? That's the question. Well, Bartabas, where is he? He's 3 seconds ahead of Hins. But Olsen gets a whacking big slide out of the final chicane there. That's going to really hurt him. In fact, he's fishtailing halfway down the front straight. That's going to let De Vries right back on him.
Yeah, it is. He's definitely closing down the straight, isn't he? Within less than a second now. Whoa, look at that. We'll be interested to see, is Olsen going to be good when it's really wet, or is he better when it's more dry? That's going to be the interesting case now. Is he? Oh, look at that. He's getting the back end out again. He's definitely really moving this car around, and hopefully he's got it all just about under control.
This is maximum attack from Tobias Olsen, but when does he not do that? That's the question. He's always on it, and that's what I like about him. He just doesn't give up regardless of the circumstances. The rain actually quite marginal at the moment. It stopped and started there, and well, I think it's going up again. I think it stopped briefly, about 2%, 1%. Yeah, it stopped again. So no actual rain in the air at the moment, though the track's still wet, and that's going to give drivers food for thought, because when do you then switch onto the slick tyres if it dries up enough? Obviously, you'll need to see a dry line forming, but it has to be wide enough, because if you go off it, you'll just aquaplane. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays into it, if the rain doesn't kick up again.
Yeah, it really is, and yeah, it looks as though that was a very brief shower indeed, and now it's starting to dry bit by bit, but of course, it's certainly not drying that quickly. We haven't seen a proper dry line all day, so it looks like these guys are going to have to be on these tyres for a fair bit longer, but we'll see if maybe it does stop raining at this point and just doesn't rain for the rest of the race, whether we will get some point in which we will change over before we get to the 100% distance.
Yep, of course. The point of these rain tyres, just to help the drivers cope in the rain, to pick up the water on the track and throw it behind whoever's unlucky enough to be there. But obviously, you know, if they're not doing their job as well as they'd hope to, it's not going to dry out that quickly. So it might be that we're on the wets to the end of the race. But we'll have to see. That, of course, does depend on if the rain kicks up again. With actually 31% through this race already, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's only just started, but we're already a third of the way through. Bartabas leading this race at the moment from Thomas Hins, from Tobias Olsen, from Sven De Vries, Jason Muscat, Daniel Sharanku, your top six. It's all that really one of those circuits, Sam, that helps you count the miles away. Just the races seem so much quicker than they are.
Yeah, it really does. The lap's definitely clicking away, but still got plenty to go. So Jason Muscat has definitely got quite a bit of traffic in front of him at the moment, and just having to find his way through. Yeah. I also noticed that Wesley Stefano's got past Roy Schroeder of the 7th place, so Stefano's starting to move up the field now. Yeah,
Wesley Stefano's starting to splice to the field here in that Hins Motorsport car with Thomas Hins second. This is a 2-7 for Hins. This is a fantastic outing for the team so far, and I'm sure that's going to please them as well.
Yeah, considering you know, they're 6th in the championship at these admittedly very early days. That's going to be a big boost for the team, isn't it? And they'll be hoping that that's going to be the case for the rest of the season if they can be competing in these kind of positions.
Well, if Hins' performance here is anything to go by, he'll be right up there with the championship contenders at this rate, but could be interesting to see. Kumar Shepard can do, yep, 9th and 10th at the moment, rightly well spotted by cameraman Menno Klont. But hey, up forwards, look at this, we got Olsen and De Vries giving it each other strife. Sven's caught up, Tobias has obviously been struggling, and Sven now 4th. Trying to go as well. Obviously, we got Shepard and Kumar down there in 9th battling as well. But this is for the podium position at the moment. De Vries and Olsen giving it full beans again. Really giving each other strife around this circuit. And I'm going to be interested to see who gets the upper hand here. As Sharanku in, Daniel Sharanku, the first of the pit, as on lap 8, so he must be considering a two-stop strategy here.
It looks like it, doesn't it? He certainly didn't change which tyres he's on. He stayed on the same type of tyres. So it looks as though he's going to pit probably around 16, 17 or 18 for his second stop. And that's a bit of a surprise. I also expected drivers only to be doing a one-stop strategy here today, but we'll see what happens.
One stop the norm in the feature race of the Megane Trophy, of course, and, well, obviously for Sharango to be coming in now, he must be defying that. Maybe going to take a second stint, or maybe he's actually anticipating that the rain is going to dry up and he's going to need slicks, or maybe he's just getting the first stint out of the way. Maybe this is a clever play from Sharango. Maybe he's just not getting as much tyre life in the wet, but we'll have to see what happens as Simon Watman and Roland Hutt, I believe, were actually parked at the side of the track, letting all the back markers, the lap traffic through, because they're the back markers, of course. So, interesting way to do it, for sure. So, Shepard and Kumar are 8th and 9th. There's been a position change there, but Kumar on the outside of turn 8. They've got traffic to deal with, but Shepard holds his position there, which he gained earlier from the Indian, and Kumar forced to yield, but there's still traffic going on here. Let's hope it goes well for them. Dan Hutt and Eric Stanford just need to get out of the way here and let these two through. Of course, they probably are battling for position in their own right, which is fair enough. They've got to worry about that too, but it looks like Kumar's going to get through nicely here, and he does. Yeah,
there's a few back markers here. Just look like they're perhaps struggling a little bit too much, and yeah, really not having it all their own way. And I don't think sitting at the side of the track's the best thing to do. I think you just need to carry on, keep on going, and just make sure you stay out of the way when you need to.
Well, Sven de Vries and Olsen are super close now. This is just the best chance you feel de Vries is going to get in these conditions. He's got to pull out of the racing line to get to see where he's going and just see a way past Tobias Olsen there, so the Swede making his life very difficult. He's just got to go on to the wetter part of the racetrack, and that's going to slow him down. He can't find a way through in these conditions, can de Vries?
No, he certainly can't. He's giving it a go. He's going to have a look maybe to the right of Olsen. No, it's just such a slow section around here. But de Vries is going to have to find a way past at some point. Otherwise, he's just continuing to lose more and more time.
Yeah, he's just going to hemorrhage time this rate to do. Obviously, the more de Vries and Olsen battle, going to make it harder for Olsen to catch Hinds as well, and Muscat behind will be liking this as well. He can now see the two of them, and he'll be wanting to try and leapfrog the both of them at some point, so going to be interesting to see what happens in regards to him as well, because Jason Muscat, ever the quiet driver, just likes to take advantages when they come to him, but de Vries and Olsen here, this battle could benefit Multiforce, and it could benefit Hinds.
Yeah, it could certainly benefit either way, couldn't it? But right now, Olsen's just seemingly doing everything just about right to keep de Vries behind him. Looking a bit loose at some points, certainly likes to get the back end out, but does it just about with enough control that he's not causing any kind of issues for himself, and not really allowing de Vries to even have a chance to go up the inside.
Jab it in from P9. That's going to let Kumar through. I think he's probably coming to the end of that tyre life as well. He's going to come in, obviously not changing off the wets. You'd be foolish to at this stage. And, well, obviously still very wet offline. You know, you got to stay on the, well, on the drier part of the circuit. There is no dry line still. And we're approaching half race distance. So I assume my prediction about we're going wet to the end of this race is right. And Sharanku will be pitting, obviously, again. Tida in as well, our reigning champion in touring cars. Had a bit of a nightmare race after into the start. He's 14th at the moment. And, well, I think now the guys like De Vos, Hinds, Olsen, de Vries at the front must be considering one stop or bust.
Yep, it looks that way now, doesn't it? As we approach the halfway distance, as de Vries is all over the back of Olsen. He's the closest I've seen him right now. Can he have a go?
This is his best chance now as they come up to the Baldebagash Spellbocht, and it's not worked out for de Vries. He's stuck on the outside. Olsen has the inside. Brilliant defending driving from the Swede. He's given the dick again, really. De Vries is forced to yield once more.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's really only one line through there, isn't there?
It really was that tight, and de Vries really just cost himself more time than it was worth. Lost out quite a bit there, but already starting to catch up with Olsen once again, which shows the difference in speed between the two drivers at the moment.
If you're Sven de Vries at this point, you've got to be thinking you're going to get him on strategy rather than outright pits, because he just can't find a way through.
Yeah, maybe he thinks he could pit maybe a lap or two earlier than he was going to, and just get a clear lap in. But then, of course, Olsen's probably going to react if he does that, isn't he?
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how this goes then. And, well, De Vries now he looks like he's got a chance, because Olsen there's got all sorts of offline. And now, in the run-up to the Klein Chicane, round turn 4, this is going to be De Vries' chance here. He's going to go down the... Oh, is he? He's going to look to be on the out. No, he's going to get the inside, I believe, into the chicane, as Olsen just given the position up here. He has, by the looks of it, podium gained by De Vries, and Olsen can do nothing. He should have gone to the inside. Oh, but he's going to try and get the inside of the second chicane here, through Brunner here into turn 7, and it's not going to work out for him. Again, only one line, De Vries holds it, but now he's slow on the exit. That's going to hamper Olsen and give De Vries a better exit. He's chasing him down here, Tobias. He's not done yet.
He's not. He's poking his nose, isn't he? He's giving De Vries a little tap to say that he's still there and it's not all over. And really is quite close as well. But again, it's just too tight around here, and De Vries will be okay around the corner. He just needs to get a good exit as Muscat continues to close from behind as well.
Yeah, Muscat really closing from behind here. Obviously the Maltese is looking at this, thinking, I want to go at this battle as well. As De Vries in from 3rd. So there you go, that is Sven calling it time on his stint. Olsen will regain the position, but now Sven de Vries is going to have fresher rubber.
He is going to have pressure.
Ooh, he loses it on the entrance of the pit lane there. Difficult to do, and, well, get the entry right in these conditions, but De Vries in then. Muscat will chase down Olsen. This might cost Olsen doubly.
It might do. It's a bit of a thing where De Vries probably... Oh, as Olsen's gone wide again.
Yeah, off he goes. You see, this is the thing. Now it's probably lap 12, 13. This is probably the limit for tyre life. This is probably where you need to be coming in.
Yeah, I think he definitely does now. He's lost so much time over the last few laps, and Muscat definitely looking the quicker of these two drivers right now. De Vries will be hoping that he can get past it. It looks like it's raining once again.
Yep, the rain has indeed begun over Zolder again, 11% as I'm saying at the moment, so yep, it's going to be even wetter now than it was to start with, and these drivers are going to have to deal with increasingly wet conditions. 81% offline, I assume still 30 or 40 online. Not going to get any drier anytime soon with the rain still coming down from above. So, you know, DeVos and Haynes at the front got to be thinking, let's just come in for some wet tyres now. And Olsen will be rubbing the fact that he didn't come in sooner because Sven de Vries will be gaining on him.
Yeah, it will be. Is he going to pit this time around? I don't think he is he? I don't know.
No, DeVos stays out. And, well, let's see what Hinz does. I think he's looking. Yep, he's in. Hinz in from 2nd. He's decided to pit at pretty much exactly the halfway mark of the race. And that might be the best strategy for him. He won't have his fresh robot in the later stages of this race. And there's Olsen in too, probably reacting to Hinz. Muscat also follows. What will Roy Schroten do? It's a race in the pits now between Olsen and Muscat. Roy Schroten does not follow. So really, Hinz, Olsen, Muscat racing each other in the pits now. But Hinz should come out ahead of the two others. Yep, Olsen goes through, Muscat goes through. Hinz is going to have a clear run out of the pit lane at the very least. So he's saved face there. Olsen and Muscat, though, this will be a race of the pit crews. Hinz should leapfrog the both of them and get back out. Roy Schroten currently 2nd, but he's yet to pit, obviously. Hinz is looking to come out in 3rd in all this, you know.
That's a long stop for Muscat. Something definitely didn't go right there because Olsen's gone... well, he's right behind Hinz as well. How was that such a quick stop?
I have no idea. I'm going to have to watch that back. Yeah, he was in, and then he was out. Yeah, he was in and then he was out. That's the thing. Maybe he didn't take fuel. Maybe he fueled at the start of the race and didn't take fuel. Either way, though, De Vries chasing him.
Yeah, he's come out just in front of De Vries. So Hinz then must have had a long stop also because he's lost a big chunk of time. He was well ahead of these guys just before the pit stop, and now he's got them right on his tail.
I'm of the opinion maybe Olsen fueled up. He's got fuel for the horse for a whole race. He didn't do too. Stains De Vries into the inside of the Kleiner chicane. That's going to give Hinz some respite, and he's got him at Olsen contact there on the exit. He's practically pushing him out of the corner. This is exactly what Hinz needs. It's what De Vries doesn't need.
Yeah, he's got past though, hasn't he? Just a bit of contact. Now he's going to have to keep his head down, but no, he's gone wide. And Olsen's back on the inside.
Oh, this is close stuff between De Vries and Olsen at the moment. De Vos, our race leader, is in the pits. I assume Roy Shorten will take the lead of the race then. Or if not, get really close to taking the lead of the race. But Olsen and De Vries, the real battle at the moment, side by side into turn 8. Olsen has the inside, and he's going to hold that inside absolutely to ransom here. Not giving De Vries a sniff of it. Gets the position back. De Vos, though, still in the pits. Obviously, Schroden, I believe, is going to take the lead of the race. But De Vos versus Hinz, the real battle. I think Bart is definitely going to come out ahead of the Aussie.
Yeah, considering the amount of time that Hinz lost during that pit stop sequence, and De Vries wasn't able to get back past Olsen in the end there. So here comes De Vos then. He's coming back out.
Yeah, he's going to get out. He's going to get out ahead of Hinz. It's not going to be too much ahead of Hinz, but it's ahead of him, and that's what matters. He's going to be, by my reckoning, about 6 or 7 seconds, so not really lost much in the pit stops there. Roy Shorten, of course, with the lead of the race, although the net lead goes to De Vos because Shorten still has to pit, and, well, Hinz not far behind in net seconds, so this is still net podium battle here. Effectively, we're battling for the podium between De Vries and Olsen.
Yep. It's as it was before then, isn't it? And Olsen's got himself back ahead of De Vries, so De Vries has once again got all the work in the world to do to try and get that position off Olsen. He had it for a lap before the pit stops, and now he's facing the same situation as before.
Yeah, same situation he is before, and well, now he's just got to try and deal with it, really. But Olsen's starting to catch Hinz, actually. Now he's starting to get into the groove, and, well, the Aussie under threat here, but unless Sven can catch up again, this is the classic backmarker scenario that I described so many times in races. Hinz has got to hope that the two cars behind him battle so he can pull away. Yeah. And so, our cameraman Menno Klont, R-Factor 2 has crashed, unfortunately. So, well, we are going to have to wait until that comes back. He's fixing it now, but we'll keep it posted about what's going on track until then. Olsen and Hinz still battling, obviously. De Vries behind Sharanku as well. Muscat 7th is quite close at the moment, actually, Sam. And this could be an interesting battle, Muscat versus Sharanku.
It could be as Roy Schroten comes into the pits then, so he's going to get rid of his tyres, and of course that means De Vos will go back to the lead. But you're right, Sharanku and Muscat is probably going to hot up in a lap 2's time once Muscat has just closed that gap a little bit more.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how this goes then, at least, and well, rain making things interesting. When does it not do that, Sam? Roy Shorten obviously coming out in 7th by the looks of it at the moment. De Vos obviously Hinz, Olsen, De Vries. This is back on for the podium now officially. But decent results so far from Shorten. 7th is looking respectable, though. He's going to come out close to Shepard on the exit, though he's going to get ahead.
Yeah, looks like that's going to be the case, isn't it? Shepard's going to have a bit of momentum here going through the next couple of corners, but it looks like the gap between the two of them is just enough. So, yep, Shroten has kept that position. Interestingly enough, there Wesley Stefano, who of course is ahead of Schroten in 7th before the pit stops. He's lost quite a bit of time because he's about 10 seconds back behind Schroten and Shepard.
Yeah, obviously at the moment at least, you know, Shepard, Schroten chasing down Muscat, but Muscat and Sharanku in an interesting battle for 5th at the moment at least. You know, this is good stuff from everybody involved, you know, because Muscat and Sharanku are having a great battle. We're talking about Olsen and De Vries. This is equally as good between these two top 5 candidates.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting, isn't it? Hinz hasn't pulled away from Olsen, and De Vries is about there, and then Sharanku is really coming under pressure now from Muscat.
Oh, yeah, maybe Sharanku pitted too early, as, that's the thing, he's now gotten past Muscat, but, he's definitely battling it out here at the moment, and that is great to see, obviously. Olsen, though, really catching Hinz at the moment. This is on for 2nd now.
Yeah, it looks like Hinz is starting to pull away a little bit, but now Olsen's reeling back in. Don't forget about Muscat, though, because he is certainly still trying to get past Sharanku. He's all over his gearbox and looking like he might make a pass anytime soon.
Yeah, you know, going to be interesting to see how this, you know, goes for Hinz, because 2nd place, I think, would be his best result in WCS, and that would be amazing.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yep, I can't think of any other time, so I'm going to agree with that one as well. I think he's certainly on course for it at the moment, but still a long way to go, and Olsen's looking a bit stronger now than he did in the first stint.
Olsen looking a lot stronger in stint 2, yeah, and he's making life a little bit more difficult for the Aussie here, but he's got to watch Sven De Vries as well, the ever-present Dutchman, always going to give him a bit of a challenge for his position. Muscat still challenging Sharanku, though it doesn't look like that battle's going anywhere at the moment. We are 72% through this race. Muscat obviously from Shranku for 5th now. DeVos still leading now, 6.8 seconds ahead of him. So it's really been the DeVos show.
It has been. Well, we haven't really seen much of him at all, have we? He's just been out there by himself for such a long time. It's really incredible what he's doing.
It is great to see Bart DeVos, you know, up the top of the standings again. He is a great driver, great person to talk to, and he's had a couple of these races in touring car seasons now where he just absolutely storms it. Very unlucky to miss out on the BMW Championship last year, of course, but yeah, this could be interesting to see if he can, you know, get it this season around. Maybe could come out as champion. Yeah, still a lot of season left to go.
Yep, he's definitely looking like he's stamping his authority down here today. Had a decent race one last time out, but of course had that DNF in the second race, which meant he only picked up points for one of the two of the races, which is why he's not quite so high up the championship as it currently stands. But this is only going to help to pole vault him up there, as Shranku's actually pitting for the second time now, as we suspected.
Yeah, Shranku really pitting in again. I thought he came in a bit too early. Obviously going for the 2-stop. He's going to drop down again. But, you know, coming into the pits now, that is going to hurt his on-track position. Maybe the 1-stop was the right strategy then, as it stopped raining again. But as I said, I think now it's pretty much wet till the end. There's no debating that fact. And Olsen and De Vries are starting to pull away from each other now, though Hinz is actually starting to gap Olsen. So maybe getting a bit more solidity in that department at the moment. In fact, a lot of the cars are quite spread out now in this final quarter of the race.
Yeah, they really have spread out a bit. That was such painfully slow pit stop I just saw there for Shranku. He was in his box for such a long amount of time, and he finds himself all the way back down in 13th. Probably cost him a good half a minute or so in that pit stop, and I don't think this one's quite going to work out for him.
Yeah, it might not work out for him this time around, but he's always got race 2 to make up for that. And well, some people, as we mentioned last time out, are just better in a short race scenario. So we might see some of the guys who have struggled in race 1. Might do the likes of Dan Brewer, Simon Watman, Roland Hood, Eric Stanford, Niels Ross. They might come of age in race 2. They might really have a good run.
Yeah, they could do. It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? What happens, and I guess the weather's going to play a bit of a part in that as well, because we might have completely different weather conditions. It's definitely been a wet one here. Pretty much from the go, and every time it looks like it might just dry out a little bit, the rain just seems to come back and just adds that bit more to the track wetness level. So I think it's been fairly consistent in that respect for the whole race.
Yeah, fairly consistent race in that respect. You know, the rain has always been there. There's been a lot of consistent things about this race, but one thing that's been consistently good is the racing as well. You know, we haven't really had any incidents this race, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, a bit crazy at the start, wasn't it? We had quite a few spinners and a couple of guys hitting the barriers in the first lap or two, but once that happened, it just seems to have calmed down. I think probably the biggest incident we've had since then was when De Vries and Olsen went wheel to wheel, and it got a bit hot and a bit violent there. Just a bit of banging, classic touring cars, really. Yeah,
that's really just what you want to see, really. And touring cars, it can be interesting, and especially in these are effectively super touring cars, aren't they? They're almost like GTs, these Meganes, but like they're really super duper tourers, like they're touring cars on steroids almost, like really powerful mid-engine V6s, massive body kits. This is a real challenge, even for the most experienced touring car driver.
Yeah, these cars definitely look very difficult to drive here today. You see all the drivers coming out the corners when they're trying to put the power down. The back end just wants to rotate rather than go forwards in the right direction. So there's a lot of steering input having to be put in by quite a few of these guys. But well, they're showing what they're worth today, I think, because considering the conditions that we've had, they've done very good indeed. As also once again practically power sliding around the corner there. I don't know how. I really don't know how he manages to hold on to it.
Yep, Tina now is in a battle against Shranku, and he's trying to get past Dan Hood here. So there is still a battle going on here for 12th place at the moment between reigning champion and Dan and Shranku, and this could be good actually. Both very capable drivers. There's Tina there with a little bit of an error. and that's not going to aid him. And he's right on. He's chasing him big time now.
Yeah, he is. He's really going for him, isn't he? Of course, Shranku's got the newer tyres on, and that's probably what he's going to benefit at the end of the race here, where other guys will really start to struggle as their tyres come to the end of their life. But whether he's really going to be able to make enough positions from that, I'm not too sure. If he can pass Tida there fairly quickly, he could have a chance of a top 10 if he's really on it for the final few laps.
Yeah, it could be interesting to see how this goes. And, well, I'm doing some quick maths at the moment. And if we assume the average lap is 141, which is 101 seconds, you time that by 25, and then divide that by 60, we are actually not going to make the end of the race here, I don't believe. Yeah, 40 minutes. I think we're going to fall just a lap short. So it might be that we only have 3 laps to go now, rather than 4.
Ah, interesting stuff then. I'd not thought about that one. I hadn't seen anything about it, so we'll have to be vigilant, won't we?
Yep, Jason and Roy are actually quite close here. Muscat and Shorten for P5 at the moment. So this could brew into an interesting battle as well. Roy Shorten and Jason Muscat, again, 2 drivers who are very good, very capable in their own right. And this could be an interesting battle if they decide to really turn the wick up, so to speak. And, well, they're just coming through into the run-up to the Kleiner chicane now as they got a 1 turn before that. This is going to be the real overtaking opportunity for Shorten here if he gets the inside of that. But I assure you, Muscat will not let it go easily.
No, he's going to keep fighting for this one. But certainly, Shorten's turned it around this race. He just seems to have got better as the race has gone on, as the rain really starts to come down now. Here we go, Strace is going to try and go up the inside.
Oh, he tried, but Muscat had it all sorts of covered there, about as covered as a pig in a blanket, really. Managed to hold it on perfectly, and he's held that position. P5 remains Muscat's for now, at least. And the Maltese doing a stunning job at the moment in this race. Maybe he can go even better in race 2, but that is obviously going to happen in some time as we now approach the 90% completion mark of this race. And I am assuming at this point we are going to go to the time limit rather than the lap limit. Bart DeVos going to start lap 22, but I assume we were only going to get about 24 laps in this race.
Yeah, try to work this one out. I think we've done... what have we got? I think we've got about 3.5 minutes left now.
DeVos on lap 22 now. That means about... Well, he's completed 21, so he has to complete 4 more. That's going to take about 400 seconds. And we are 92% of the way through the distance of this race. So I think we are only going to get 1 less lap. Anyway, so it's rounded out quite nicely. But this is a time-limited race rather than a laps-limited race now.
Yeah, I think we're going to start the last lap with about 20 seconds to spare. Sorry, not the last lap, the penultimate lap with about 20 seconds to spare. So that'll be it after that then, won't it? We'll get to lap 24 out of 25, like you said. The checkered flag will wave. So hopefully... these drivers are aware of that, because it just means they're going to have to really go for it. They can't leave it all to the final lap.
Yeah, we have about 3 minutes left to go on the timer release, so not long now. And, well, just coming round the Kleiner chicane. Well, not the Kleiner chicane, it's the second chicane now with Bart DeVos. And, you know... Golotakis and Salmon apparently have had it coming together somewhere. That was in the run-up to, that was actually in the run-up to turn 1, the Golotakis and Samet here. What happened was, Samet was there, Golotakis went on the, no, Samet just went off and Golotakis went through. Maybe in contact between the two, but it was marginal, if any. But DeVos just coming round out of turn 8 now into the run down at the Jackie X chicane. And, well, as he comes into the Jackie X chicane, it's looking... like we are going to come to an end of this race very soon. Obviously, he rounds the first part of it, then the second part of it, and there are just 2 minutes left to go now. So I assume we have two laps to go, really, as Bart DeVos is going to start lap 23. Lap 24 might be the last.
Yep, 2 minutes left on the timer by my watch, so looks like we'll get this one in, and then the next one as well. It looks like certainly what happened as well with that issue with the guys in 10th and 11th. I think Shrank is going to catch him as well, which is good for him. Yeah,
could be. And we've got a battle on again. 7th and 8th, Stefano and Shepard on at the moment. Both, again, battling each other. This has been a point of contention all race, Stefano and Shepard. These two have been battling each other left, right and centre. And they're showing no signs of stopping, regardless how much time is left in the race. Stefano and Shepard will have to keep a very good eye on this 7th and 8th, this battle here, for the lead of the race. And... a bit of a mistake from Shepard there. That's going to allow Stefano an opportunity now After him on the run at turnout. I don't think he's got the line though. No, Stefano has to yield into the corner here, and that is not going to help his chances any.
No, certainly not, as it looks like Sharanku has got past Samet into 11th place. Shepherd is just about holding on, isn't he? Just about pointing that car in the right direction, but Stefano is definitely there. He's got to do it now though, he can't leave it too much longer, as we really are running out of time.
Yeah, time really is beginning to elapse now, and well, he's got pretty much one more lap to try and do this as Stefano to go on Shepherd. Shorten the same on Muscat, similar sort of thing, but Bart DeVos now is going to come round into the final chicane, the Jackie X chicane, as we mentioned before. Wesley Stefano though, Stefano's going for Shepherd now, and they're running to turn 6, and this is going to be interesting to see Stefano can get to. He's on the outside, oh, he's pulled through, Shepherd's yielded. Shepherd has yielded, he's lost the position, now he goes to the outside, tries to get it again. Stefano through, what a move from Wesley. As well, I'm just watching the timer tick down now, and I do believe we are now out of time. This should be the final lap of the race. We're 100% of the way through the limit, and when Bartos completes this lap, the race will end.
Yeah, let's keep our eyes peeled out for that then and see if that is the case. It doesn't look like the top 3 going to change, and neither for De Vries either, as Schroeter's actually fallen back a bit from Muscat, I think, because of the wet weather, but it's still all to play for further back in the field.
Yeah, all to play for. I mean, I don't know what's the situation really with the laps. I assume this is going to be the last lap from Bart DeVos. I'm not totally sure, but it should be. Shepherd and Stefano though going all out. Stefano seems to have got a bad exit out of the Jackie chicane. Shepherd's through before they even get to the start-finish line. He's gone straight through there. Shepherd in the Stax Racing car then taking full advantage of the effect in front of him, and that is great for Shepherd to get back up a place. He'll be happy about that. Stefano won't be happy. And, well, he's got a little bit of time left, but there ain't much in it.
Yeah, great effort there. Stefano just making a mistake, so he's still got a lap to go, though. If he can manage to find a way back past on this final lap, this lap, which looks like it's the final lap, that'll be good for him.
Yep, looking like it's going to be the final lap, this one. And, well, if that is the case, then what a race this has been for Bart DeVos. Pretty much led it from start to finish, got pole. I assume he'll have the fastest lap as well. No questions asked. This has been a dominant drive from the Belgian, proving why he is championship material right here. And as he comes down the start-finish straight, Bart DeVos certainly the star of this race. And he indeed takes the win here at Zolder. That is the final lap. We have not made the end of this race on laps, but we have made the end on time. It's DeVos's race from Thomas Haynes in second place. Stunning result from the Australian, and I'm sure that'll give him something to be happy about for a very, very long time. Olsen third, so good result from the Swede as well. Sven de Vries will come home fourth for Totally Spies Racing. Then it's Jason Muscat in P5 from Motorforce GP, followed by Roy Shorten in sixth. Then it's going to be Shepherd and Stefano battling it out till the very end here as they come into the Jackie X chicane, though I think Shepherd is just going to edge it.
Yeah, it looks that way, isn't it? Here comes Stefano. He's all over the back of Shepherd, but I don't
gonna be close though.
To drive out the final corner, it'd have to be something special, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have to be something special. Shepherd's got this clearly into seventh then. Stefano finishes eighth, Kumar ninth, Eric Galadakis will finish 10th. That'll be Danny Sharanku 11th, Cameron Summit 12th. Argentine should finish 13th, and Mark Fuller 14th. 15th is confirmed to be Roy Brazil already, so point for performance racing, and that's good for them as well. But yes, 16th place Rick Scott, and then Niels Voss in 17th, Eric Stanford 18th, in 18th place, and then Dan Hunt 19th, your retirement, Simon Watton, Roland Hunt, Gerton Esshort, Dan Brewer, and David Nichols. But what a race that was, Sam Jones.
Yeah, great race. Great weather conditions for racing in. That was really fun stuff, and hats off to the drivers as well. I think they did a very good job of keeping the car pointing in pretty much the right direction for the majority of the race in what was very difficult looking conditions. It kept raining, it kept drying out a little bit, and then raining some more, so a difficult one to obviously have to work out throughout the race, but these drivers got a good touch to them, and really well done. Of course, my hat goes off to Bart DeVos for what can only be described as a boring victory. But I'm sure he's probably pleased about that one, because that looked impressive from him. He was just a class apart from the rest of the field, and pretty much translated the form that he took into qualifying So great effort by DeVos, and picks up his first win of the season as well, and I'm sure that's going to be one of many to come.
Yeah, DeVos really, going to be on point here for this season if there is anything to go by. If I had to give a driver of the race, though, it would actually go to Thomas Hinz, second place. Awesome from the Australian. And I did count him for the win. He was 13 seconds off it in the end, but he didn't come very far away from it.
No, he didn't, did he? And yeah, that's actually amazing effort by Hinz there to pick up that second place. And well deserved as well. He looked like he was supposed to finish in that second place. He wasn't really troubled by anyone behind him. He had Olsen and De Vries behind him for a bit, but never really troubled too much. And no one who was supposed to be ahead of him really dropped back either. So full credit to him for getting that second place, not by fluke or anything like that. And I hope he's really chuffed with that one. He looked like he was.
Yeah, really happy with that result, and rightly so. A fantastic second for Hinz, and well, that's going to give him a massive, massive confidence boost going into race 2, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a massive boost for him. I think he already had a boost from round 1 as well, because he had such a good race 2 in round 1, and this is even better than that. So whether it's raining or whether the sun comes out, I still think Thomas is going to be a man that's on a mission in race 2, and with that newfound confidence, he's only going to be driving better than he has been before.
Yeah, he's really in the form of his sim racing life at the moment, Hinsey, and woof. If that was good for race 1, I wonder what race 2 is going to be like, because it's shorter, it's going to be even more action-packed. You don't want to miss it.
No, you certainly don't. I'm really looking forward to it, actually, because of course I wasn't here for round 1, so this is my first time of checking out this new format. Of course, last year we used to have 3 races, didn't we? But now this is much more like the single-seaters in terms of the shorter race 2 compared to race 1. And of course, we get reverse grid as well, don't we? So that's going to be interesting to see people battling their way through the field.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see the fighters in race 2, really. Those who don't get the reverse grid, those who do, those who have to fight their way through after a bad race 1, those who have to defend a good position from race 2. Whew, it's going to be interesting, as it always seems to be here at WCS. And, well, that is going to be one of the best feature races that I've ever seen. That really was awesome.
It was. It was. I think in terms of quality, it was really good. Because there wasn't really any instance. You didn't see cars constantly flying off the track, which I thought was something we might see here today, because it did look very tricky out there. It was just good, clean racing, and lots of position changes, and the strategy really came into play as well. So just a solid race there that really, I think we'll be remembering that one, especially for some of the individual performances as well.
Yeah, some standout performances really in this race, and I wonder what race 2 is going to bring if that's the case. Maybe these same people are then going to have a lot of drive and determination going into the second race, then go out and do even better.
Yeah, that's the thing now, that these guys have got a second chance. I think one of the drivers I'm sure wants to do something much better will be Shranku. That 2-stop strategy for him really didn't pay off. He should have been around Muscat, Schroten, that kind of area come the end of the race. So I think he'll definitely be wanting to just get it right this time around, and show the rest of the field and everyone at home what he can really do.
Yeah, really just out to maybe, show what they can do in this second race if they didn't have a good first race, even if they did, perhaps not anyway, but it'd be interesting to see how it goes for sure. Race 2 always is interesting, more frantic, more frenetic, it's got everything.
It always has, isn't it? I think this time around, of course, it looked so everyone was so clean and just do well in race 1. I think now in race 2, everyone's just going to go for it a little bit more, and maybe we'll see that translated in a bit more argy-bargy on track. Definitely watch out for that first lap, because it was crazy enough in the first lap in race 1. I think this time around it's only going to be even more crazy.
Yeah, going to be really crazy race 2, and we've just been in an extended wait here until we actually get going. But thinking about the championship standings, Hinz is going to be making a real charge on the leaders now with a great first race.
Yeah, he's going to be he's going to be one to watch out for, isn't he? I think what he needs to do now, and this is just from what I've seen today, he needs to get a win under his belt. I think once he gets that, he's really going to be ultra confident, and we're going to see even more from him. And then you'll definitely say that he's a championship contender at that point. He still can be even without a win if he's just consistent, which he's looked today. He's looked very consistent today. Then he's definitely got himself a good chance. But I'm sure now his next aim has to be a race win here in the Meganes.
Yeah, race win, perhaps the goal, and I wouldn't put it past him. I really wouldn't. He's got enough talent for sure, and well, we'll see if he gets it.
Absolutely. We'll definitely have to wait and see on that one. And
oh, lovely. I've got a nice R-Factor 2 crash to go with my racing commentary.
I was considering the same, actually. I was thinking his mind about to disappear, but no, I'm okay. So at least I can see what's going on at the moment. It's nothing too exciting. We're just waiting, I think, to get into the warm-up session.
Yeah, so going to be interesting stuff for sure. And, well, I reckons that this race 2 could be... Do you think it's going to be a dry race 2, or they're going to see more torrential rain?
Oh, I really don't know what's going to happen. It's looking like it's just raining a bit at the moment here in warm-up. But maybe that's because things haven't quite set themselves yet. Nope, still looks like it's raining, actually. So I think maybe I'm going to put my money on, if we're going to do some more betting, like we seem to do all the time, I'm going to put my money on more rain.
Yep, always put your money on more rain, because then if it doesn't rain, then it's dry, and that's good as well. So you win both ways. You either get your money back, or you lose it and get a dry race.
Yeah, certainly. I got my money for the race winner, but that's because I was boring and I picked the most obvious guy. It paid off.
Well, the obvious thing sometimes doesn't always happen, but, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes you just get thrown for a ride and taken for a spin, and all sorts of stuff happens, I don't know, but still, either way, race 2 coming at you here at the WCS League, and should be a very interesting race 2, for sure, and, well, wet races seem to be the norm here, so maybe we will get a dry round, maybe we won't, maybe it will literally thunderstorm, I don't know, but, yeah, Roy Schwarten saying, rain, rain, go away. He wants it to come back another day, but I think he probably didn't come back at all.
Yeah, we've had it now, haven't we, here, and we've had it in the GP3s as well, so it certainly looks like we're being followed around by it all, and I can't see this one going away at all at the moment. I think if it rained in race 1, I can't see any reason why it's not going to rain in race 2 as well, if it is live rain or whatever you want to call it. So these guys just got to get used to it, really. They've had plenty of time so far to get used to it, and I think once again they've just got to buckle down and just keep the car pointing in the right direction.
That's all they're going to do, really, just keep it pointing in the right direction. Thomas Hinton and I got seconds, so imagine what the rest could do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Thomas Hinton's obviously extraordinarily talented. Obviously, luck has been his problem mostly, but just got all of it there. Managed to hold it together, had the luck, nothing really went wrong for him, and he managed to really show his potential and get that top 3.
I think he's more comfortable in touring cars, it seems. I don't know if that's the case or not, but perhaps that's why he is taking part here in the Meganes, and that's because he's not taking part in the GP3s, is he? I don't remember seeing him. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not getting this all wrong now, and I'm actually saying something that's not true, but I don't remember seeing him. So either way, though, I think he's done the right choice here, driving in the Meganes, because it certainly seems to have adapted to the cars very quickly.
Yeah, it does seem a lot more comfortable in these than he did in the open wheelers the last time out, and well, I don't blame him. They can, in general, tin tops are easier to drive than open wheelers, but there can obviously be exceptions to that rule, but when there is not exceptions to that rule, then the exceptions don't exist. But still, interesting to see Hinz doing so well, lovely to see him doing so well, and I want to see him continue to do well. I want to see him get a win in race 2.
Yeah, that'd be actually really good to see if he can manage to pull out a win or something like that. But where is he going to start in ninth? Is that where he starts?
Yeah, well, we'll see where he does. Obviously, we need to see what the magic number is first, but obviously once we know that, we'll know everything, and we'll know exactly who starts where, and who's going to get the reverse grid pole, who isn't.
Right, okay. I didn't know if it was just like top 10.
Well, it's, I think, a reverse number drawn from 6 to 10, so someone out of the top 10 for the last race is going to get it.
Got it. Okay. We'll have to wait and see then. That's going to be interesting to see, indeed.
It's not always number 10 specifically, it's anywhere from 6 to 10, it's randomly drawn, and we find out usually before the race who's going to get it. So, you know, always interesting to see what the draw is, and it adds a bit of variety, because it's, you know, you finish 10th, you're not guaranteed to get it. You finish 6th, you're guaranteed to be in contention, but you won't necessarily start on direct pole.
No, otherwise you can just play for the pole, can't you? Although, to be honest, I don't think most drivers do that. If you're in 11th, you're obviously going to go for 10th, but I don't think drivers really bother dropping back for 10th come the end of the race. But anyway, that'll be an interesting one to see, and that's all we're really waiting for at the moment, isn't it? I just want to get on with the racing. I want to see more racing after such a crazy and exciting first race.
Yeah, I just want to see more racing too. I think we all want to see more racing. That's what we want, really, just to get on with it. And, well, we're getting our drivers back now as well, which is always a good thing. We're getting Simon Watman and Daniel Sharanku back, which is great. Both, I don't think, Sharanku didn't do well and Watman didn't finish. So great to have them both back for the second race, obviously. And lap time's actually coming down quite nicely now. We've had a 150, well, actually, a strike that. I thought it was there. Let's say a 155. That's actually worse than what we had in the last race. So, yeah, Golotakis. Yeah, lap times are about similar. The track conditions haven't changed too much then.
No, they haven't, have they? It's all looking fairly similar. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it actually looks super wet out there at the moment. Really wet track. And,
doesn't look any drier.
No, it doesn't. I don't think there's such thing as a dry line on this track, is there?
It's like it's got to be flooded or it's just not going to race at all, to be honest. It's like, we've got to have rain at Zolder, otherwise we're not going to go racing at all.
Might as well just brought some boats for the weekend instead.
Yeah, bring it. Yes, welcome to the 7th round of the Belgian Canoe Championship. And, well, yeah, that was what it was like at Austria as well. You know, the Austrian Canoe Championship, now we have the Belgian Canoe Championship. Next round will be wherever the heck that is Canoe Championship. It's like, well, when if you squint, they look a little bit like canoes, don't they?
Yeah, maybe upside down, I suppose.
It's open to interpretation.
Yeah.
It's open to interpretation, definitely. Well, some of the drivers making them work as well as canoes, definitely really displacing the water on the track and getting through, like the likes of Hinz and DeVos, really, who got the top 2 last race. So, you know, if the drivers can make the most of the rain, they might have canoes to everybody else's wellies.
You know what I like is that everyone who's watching this at home now, they've all just like squinted at their screens and they've either gone, Josh, I don't know what you're talking about, or they've gone, yeah, I think I can see it. And
in most cases, it'll be the former.
Well, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, probably best not to comment on that, I'd advise. But yeah, Jason Muscat, Thomas Hinz, these guys at the front. Argo Tita's got a lot to prove, really. Well, actually, not as much to prove, but a lot to make up after the first round debacle that he had with Dan Hoot there. Obviously, collision with Hoot. Nothing really could be done about it, but he's got to make up the ground now.
Yeah, I think he also had that spin as well on the start line that I saw. I don't quite know how it happened, but he speared into the wall on the left-hand side on the very start of the race and did a full 360 and then carried on going, but obviously lost a ton of places from it. So I really didn't really go well from the very start of the race and never really recovered. It's interesting to know how much damage he had, because there was quite a few drivers retiring as well with suspension damage, and that was just from one impact of the wall.
Yeah, one impact in the wall can cause significant damage sometimes. You know, these are tin tops, but they can be sensitive to damage sometimes. I mean, if you lose that rear wing, you're going to have no rear downforce, and that's going to make life very difficult, considering these put out quite a bit of front downforce. You lose the front, then you're going to have no front downforce, and, well, you'll get massive understeer, and in this rain, it just amplifies itself. So, Not an easy life if you lose the body part, and even if you take suspension damage, you're going to be crabbing all the way around the track.
Yeah, I don't want to lose the body part, that's for sure. I'd rather keep all of it there, all of it together. And yeah, let's see. I'm just watching a few guys go around at the moment. It's quite nice and relaxing watching these guys power around the track. It's really great to see them exploring all the extents, and once again it just seems to rain. I don't know what's going on today. It's like rain and no rain and then rain and then no rain. It's just an ever continuing pattern.
What it is Belgium's decided to be Britain. It can't make its mind up. That's what it's decided to do. It's decided to be British, whether it can't make its mind up whether it wants to rain or not, so it's doing both.
Yeah, and it looks dull. It always looks dull. Not the racing, but the sky looks dull. Looking at my...
It does look quite misty, actually, with the rain that's falling, and obviously with the rain on the track. It doesn't look like the nicest circuit in the world, but it's a good circuit, Zolder. And, well, if it was nicer weather, I'm sure it would be even more enjoyable.
Yeah, great undulation changes in this track. Some very nice long sweeping corners, and a bit tricky chicanes as well. Some of them are really quite tight and very difficult to get around. You wouldn't want to try and get two cars around the chicanes at this track. It's just a bit too tight for my liking, but nonetheless, great track to see, and I think that's proven from the first race as well. Great made for some great racing in the end.
Yeah, in the end we had some fantastic racing in race 1, and race 2 should be no different. We should have some fantastic racing in that as well. And it's only about 5 seconds away now until the warm-up ends, and we'll be going racing in about a minute's time. So do hang on to your seat belts and strap yourselves in, because this is going to be quick fire, it's going to be rapid, it's going to be really good racing.
It should be good racing, that's definitely what I'm hoping for, and well, we're about to find out any second, aren't we? I just can't wait for this now. Of course, we won't have any scheduled pit stops this time around either, so people can't wait for strategy. They're all just going to have to go for it as fast as they can.
Yeah, just going to have to try and get your way through the grid, honestly. And, well, going to be interesting to see how, the likes of Tito, who are going to start further down the order, have to get their way through the grid, really. And, well, then you got the likes of Hins who did well. He'll start further down than he maybe might like, and we'll see how they deal with it. As I'm just saying, the grid has now been set, and it is actually going to be, I believe, a full reverse grid, because I'm seeing that Eric Golodakis is the magic number, and I think he finished 10th.
Alright, so yeah, it does look like it's the top 10 that just gets switched around then, isn't it? So that's good. That means more drivers out of position, and it's been set to like DeVos and Hins and Olsen, and the rest, they're just going to have to fight their way through a little bit more to get back to the front if they can.
Yeah, really, and the fight on for some of the drivers, perhaps. I mean, this is going to be a really, really good one for sure. So, again, we had what happened in the last race. The rain just setting itself in, but about 40 seconds time we're going to be racing. And Sam, if you were one of the drivers on the grid now, just tell us what you'd be doing now, what you'd be thinking of.
I'd probably be thinking of I'd be thinking of who's blowing that horn. That's what's distracting me. Someone's really go for it, that horn. But I'd definitely be thinking, right, I've just got to get through this first lap here because the conditions are wet. It is tricky out there. We know what happened in the first race as well. Just survive that first lap and then get my head down.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how this goes. So, we are now going to get our formation lap underway, and of course, as we just pointed out, Eric Golodakis will start from pole position, and he's going to have a decent chance of winning this race if he can just hold it. But he's got competition from behind in the form of Niranjan Kumar, Wesley Stefano, Chris Shepard, all very hungry drivers. And they got Roy Short and Jason Muscat, Sven de Vries as well, Tobias Olsen, Thomas Hins, Bart de Vos, all equally as hungry. These guys were fighting. Bart de Vos, our race winner, Hins second, Olsen third. They can make their way up the order. They'll be on for an absolute stormer. Then you've got Shiranku, Samet, Hida Fuller, Roy Vazile in the top 15 as well. Roy stands a good chance in the top 10, but has very capable touring car driver as well. Rick Scott, Niels Voss, Eric Stanford, Dan Hood, Simon Watman as well, further behind. all very capable as well. Then Roland Hood, Dan Brewer, David Nichols running out the field. And Sam, who do you fancy for the win here? There's lots of potentials in this race too, with this big reverse grid that we have.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, De Vos, Hinds, Olsen, De Vries, Muscat and Schroten, they were probably all a bit further ahead than the rest of the field in terms of their speed. Then you've got, of course, guys like Sharanku and Tadare who are further back than it should be. Could we have an upset from someone like Godolakis or Kumar or Shepard or Stefano? It's really hard to say. I think what I'm saying, Josh, is I actually don't know, but I'm going to go for Muscat.
You're going to go for Jason Muscat? That is not a bad shout. Jason Muscat in P6. I'm inclined to agree, but for the sake of variety, I am going to go for none other than... I'm actually going to go for Chris Shepard. I think this could be Shep's time. I think from 4th, he has a chance because he was right on the tails of some of the drivers here. And I reckon from 4th place, if we can get a good enough start, we could see Stax Racing on the top step of the podium. And Menno Klont saying Sven de Vries. Again, another very good shout. Sven, of course, super experienced. And, well, I wouldn't put it past him to win either.
That's interesting then. So no one's gone for De Vos even after he dominated race 1. So let's see if we all eat our words.
Well, we'll have to see. For all we know, Simon Watman could win from 20th, but we'll have to see if that does happen. Eric Golodarkis going to take his place on the starting grid, and once again, we're going to get ready to go racing at Zolder.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Just seeing the guys line up now. Again, it's just going to be about surviving that first lap, and people like Tadare, they know all about that. They've really got to get the car pointing in the right direction this time around.
Yep, gotta get a good start, gotta make sure it works out for them, and it's going to be crucial to see whether they do or not. And just some cars lining up now, and I think it's going to be Eric Stanford, the last one to line up with David Nichols. So they're pulling into the boxes now, and Nichols has just pulled in, so now we are ready to start the countdown to the race start. The lights are beginning to illuminate here at Zolder, and for race 2 in WCS's Megane Trophy, we are off and away. Fantastic start from Kumar's getting a jump on Golodarkis. So Stefano. Not a good start from Eric Golodarkis then. Stefano down the outside into turn 1. This is going to be interesting to see if the Dutchman get through contact with him, and they're all over the place. Golodarkis off, and it's gone wrong already. Stefano. We got Wouters' cars off as well. We got Olsen trying to charge on Shepard. He's gone round. It's drama central here at the start of this race. De Vos on the inside of Hinds. I suspect Hinsey is just going to let him go here. He's seen what's happening ahead. Shepard spins as well. It's all gone catastrophically wrong for my pick for the win. And there's massive drama at the start of this race thus far. But it's Wesley Stefano from Niranjan Kumar from Jason Muscat is your top 3 at the moment.
Incredible start, crazy start. Said people need to be careful, and
Kumar's had a bit of a slip there, and he's trying to keep it in a straight line from Muscat, who's now charging like mad. But what a start from Jason Muscat there. You might have been right to pick him as your race winner, Sam. He's on for 2nd.
Yeah, he's got to get past Kumar though pretty quickly, so Stefano can't get away, and De Vries and De Vos behind them as well.
Yeah, De Vos is already 5th, Hinds is already 6th, Tito already 7th, and that was from quite far back on the grid as well, so what a recovery from Argo.
Yeah, great start from Argo, and he just managed to clear.
Oh, but Brewer down the inside of Tito there. He's giving it a stick there, but Tito's got the outside. Brewer can't. Oh no, Brewer, no contact with Tito there. I know he's just gone into the side of him again, and oh dearie me, this is getting a bit tentative between these two at the moment. Brewer and Tito for 7th. In down the inside goes now. Tito's got the inside. Brewer's shoving him to the inside of the track here. That is, this is getting a bit much now.
Let's give it dirty, isn't it? A bit feisty anyway, but just looking at Muscat as well, he was around the outside of Kumar into turn 1, trying to get the switch back for turn 2, but again he's going to be on the wrong side of the track, so I don't think he's quite going to be able to do it.
Yeah, might not be able to do it. I'm just, Brewer seemed to lose the back end a bit when he went at Tito before the chicane, and then it just bit really rubbing each other. Brewer off, and Tito with him! Brewer and Tito both off there, and that's gone disastrously wrong. Brewer, he came and Tito went off, and Tito went off, and in the rejoin, it was the rejoin from Tito, and he was turning in, but he just aquaplaned and into the side of Brewer. So that's 2 bad races now from Argo Tito. That's not going well for him. And Dan Brewer down in 16th. And Sven de Vries went off as well. He's had a bit of an off there. Rick Scott's going to have a chance. Rick Scott's in 7th. This is brilliant from him.
Yeah, wow, what a start that he's had. And he's actually keeping up with de Vries at the moment, isn't he?
Tito out. Well. Tito out as Niels Voss has gone out as well. He's out of the race. Really, really high drama at the moment. Golodarkis there. Brewer out as well. Olsen spins. Golodarkis is down the back after his start and problems there. But it's going to be Wesley Stefano. Might be over the race win. Muscat and Kumar, though, close behind, as is DeVos, as is Hinz. De Vries a bit further back, though. But Rick Scott's actually taking the fight to Sven de Vries.
He is. He's really going for it, isn't he? As Kumar's going for the lead as well here.
He's trying to go for it there in the final game, but it's not worked.
No, he didn't quite manage to pull it off, and he's actually lost quite a bit of time because of that. And Muscat's losing time as well because DeVos is right on its tail now, going into turn 1.
Yeah, but Hinz closing in as well. He's right there as well. Bart just wants to get through on this lot, but it's not going to be as easy as he wants it to be. Jason Muscat is going to have to try and defend hard. That's going to throw Hinz in with a shout here as they come around turn 4. This is a brilliant start to the race thus far. Rick Scott's actually got past Sven de Vries for 6th place. He's on the charge too. DeVos and Muscat side by side as they come into turn 4. Belgium versus Malta. This is DeVos's home race and he's proving a point here. He wants 2 race wins.
I think whoever gets out in front out of these two could go on to win the race here. And Hinz right there as well. He's having a bit of a look at DeVos also. It really is close between these 3, but I think whoever gets out in front of these 3 will get past the next 2 and win the race.
Yep, great battle all the way up and down the field here. You can't look away for a single second. I'm practically struggling to keep up, but Hinz, DeVos, Muscat, all chasing each other down for this 3rd. Scott holding off De Vries wonderfully for P6 here. And De Vries himself gets a bit wedgy into that corner. Not going to get the best eggs in the world, but he's still closing down Rick Scott here. Of course, a veteran of the sim racing team. Now he's on the outside. De Vries looks to go through. And that is the position made. Scott just didn't get the exit he wanted there. And De Vries goes through into 6th place. But Hinz, DeVos, Muscat, this is so close between the 3 of them now.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? And they're not keeping up with Kumar whilst they're doing all of this battling as well, so Muscat definitely coming under pressure.
And this is going to be interesting to see how Hinz deals with this. I mean, DeVos, Muscat is actually looking to close up the Kumar, but Wesley Stefano is making advantage. Hinz's teammate is out in front leading, and could this be a shock victory for Wesley Stefano, perhaps? He had a great start off the line, remember? And remember, he also started 3rd. Stefano, a very talented driver in his own right, never really had a fantastic result here. WCS, he's had some good results, but perhaps this will be his crowning glory.
It could be a long way to go, but of course, the longer he stays out ahead, the more confident he's going to get. So this race continues on, and again, Muscat has got DeVos and Hinz all over the back of him. They're so close to each other, and you just think that any moment now, someone's going to have to try and make a move.
Yeah, something's got to happen soon. Hinz is probably just going to take a nice and easy break early. He's not going to risk anything at this point, and that's the right strategy for Hinz. He's just going to try and capitalise on any potential mistakes, because De Vries is a mile back on the road. He doesn't want to be too aggressive here on DeVos or Muscat, but if an opportunity arises, he wants to go for it, really, at this point. Although Muscat and DeVos chasing each other, Hinz is just stuck in the back of this train. Going to give a bit more room to Rick Scott and Sven de Vries, but Niranjan Kumar actually starting to close Stefano down here.
Yeah, he's. I think now that he's not coming under pressure from behind, he's just getting into his own, isn't he? And definitely looking like he's got a bit of pace on him at the moment. We'll have to see whether he can keep that one up. Of course, he finished around the same time as Stefano in race 1, so these two are pretty closely matched on pace.
Yeah, Chris Shepard's now within range of Rick Scott, who's just had a bit of an off there at turn 8. Shepard, obviously one of my pickers for the potential race win. Not really gone his way so far, but still 10 laps to go. Stefano is still leading from Kumar, from Muscat, from DeVos, from Hinz, De Vries, Scott, Shepard, Fuller, Shiranku, your top 10. Watman 11th, having a good resolve as well here. Shiranku, he's chasing down. Mark Fuller's having a good race in 9th as well.
Yeah, I can't believe we've only got 16 cars left in this.
Yeah, it's been a crazy. Roy Schroden, one of the retirements as well. This has been a crazy attrition rate. We lost 7. We have actually gone and lost ourselves 7 cars in the first 2 laps.
Yeah, it's all.
We lost 7 cars there on the back from 17th to 23rd. Schroden, Brewer, Voss, Peter, Hut, and Vaziel are both out. And, yeah, Kumar is starting to drop off the back of Stefano now. This is very a touch-and-go race between these two. And, oh, Hins on the outside of DeVos, which becomes the inside. That would have been mental if he made that work. But it's going to give Muscat loads of room. That was a brave move from Hins there, but it didn't quite pay off.
Yeah, look at that. Muscat's pulling away, isn't he? And DeVos definitely struggling in some of these corners here. I think he's just getting his entry points completely wrong. Just not getting the right speed into the corners at all. And Hins has definitely got a chance now. This is his perfect opportunity if he get back past DeVos. There's no telling what he could do.
Well, he just needs to get past Bart first, that's the thing, and I'm sure he doesn't want to risk too much from 5th because he'll get a double top 5 at this rate, and that'll be fantastic for him. He's in the form of his life in this championship so far, Thomas Hins. He's doing things with this Megane that he probably never would have thought he'd been able to do at the start of the season, and I'm sure he's probably happy with this 5th at the moment, but here's someone who's very happy at this moment is his teammate, Wesley Stefano. 5 laps down, he's on lap 6, and he's still leading.
And he's leading very nicely indeed as well, isn't he? Kumar, I think, he's dropped back a little bit now, starting to come under a bit more pressure from Muscat behind as well. So Stefano just needs to keep doing what he's doing at the moment, because what he's doing is absolutely perfect.
He's just minding his own race like Thomas Hins did in race 1. He's just minding his own race. He's getting on with the job in hand as well as Stefano. And he's probably going to be one of the hot favourites to win this now. Kumar, if he can catch up, is always a threat because he's a good driver as well. Muscat as well. This is the thing. Muscat on pace is not going to win this. He's going to have to rely on a mistake from Kumar Stefano. He's just not quick enough to win outright at the moment.
No, he's not, is he? It looks as though... I don't know. Is it the just being sat behind another car? Is that why these guys are just struggling a little bit, not showing quite the same amount of pace? I don't know.
Perhaps so. I mean, this is... Oh, Muscat, he's just got a bit off there. Now it's going to let DeVos and Hins close in. And we got a 3-way battle for 3rd again. I bet Hins, he can smell the podium, but he's going to want to exercise better judgment here and not push too hard because he's defending a 5th here. De Vries still a mile back off the road, obviously, but, you know, still a very respectable P5 though. When he doesn't want to go too hard for it. He wants to wait for a mistake, really, perhaps, or someone to go wide. Probably just going to let DeVos and Muscat get off on their own battle here, and Hins is going to wait to pick up any mistakes that occur. But yeah, DeVos and Muscat now going to battle out for 3rd. That's going to put pressure on the Maltese. He's going to probably drop time to Kumar, but he seems to be closing in as DeVos almost overshoots, and Hins closes in again.
Yeah, this is a good chance for Hins, isn't it? But I think just couldn't quite get the exit out of the corner because he got so close to the boss at the apex there. But it looks like all these guys are just struggling for consistency right now. As again, Muscat looking a bit slow through the first corner. That's held up.
DeVos slow through turn 1, yeah. And now Hins is going to look down the inside of the subsequent corners. I think he might be in with contention here. If he can get it into 4, he'll have the advantage into the chicane here, Hins. He's seeing his chance and he's seizing it, but no, DeVos just slightly too quick. And Hins had to back out there. That would have been great if he'd gotten through, though. Though he's slow out of the run out of there, but he's not going to have the drive, I don't think, Hins, in the kind of chicane.
No, he's got some good straight line speed, just able to save DeVos down the straights, but it just can't quite seem to get it done. By the time he gets to the corner, he just seems to lose out just a little bit, and DeVos is now catching back up with Muscat again. And it's amazing, isn't it? Muscat's just not closing down on Kumar.
Yeah, really closing down. Not he's doing, but closing down is what Hins and DeVos are doing on Muscat. Kumar Kumar seems to take time out of Stefano and then lose it again. He doesn't seem to be consistently gaining, and I think because of that he's probably not going to win this race. But you never know. Anything still happen. And Hins has really left the braking nicely down there. Almost contact with DeVos, but not quite. And he didn't get through. He's trying every trick in the book now, is Hins, and I think he can afford to because De Vries well behind. But he doesn't want to risk too much because he might have an incident, and then he'll lose loads of time.
That was, I think there might have been a bit of contact because they certainly both drivers lost a bit of time there to Muscat ahead. But again, look at that. After a couple of corners, DeVos seems to be able to catch up with Muscat, but for whatever reason, he can't seem to find a way past. And the more this goes on, the more it looks like Wesley Stefano could actually win.
but it would be a very famous victory if he did. I don't know whether Stefano has taken a race win in WCS before, but he hasn't, according to Menno Klont. This would be his very first in this league, at least, if not in sim racing as a whole. But Stefano looking on course then to create a bit of history of his own.
Yeah.
That's all Sam Jones can say about that. It's simple as, and well, I wish it was simple as for Jason Muscat. He's got to defend from Bart DeVos for the podium.
It's going to come down to that, isn't it? I think who's going to get the final podium position at the moment, because right now it doesn't look like any of these guys who I thought, you know, Muscat, DeVos and Hinz, I thought they were all going to get past Kumar and Stefano sooner rather than later. But right now it looks like they're just going to have to battle it out for third place. Maybe if DeVos can get past, he can push on. We'll have to wait and see though, because right now Muscat's just doing everything right.
He is, yes, and Jason Muscat just holding DeVos behind. I think he's actually starting to close on Kumar, but he's not getting much closer to Stefano, and that's the crucial point of all this. Kumar is the first step to victory, but then he's got to pass Stefano too. DeVos, though, as long as he battles Muscat, will be distracting Muscat's attention from Kumar and going to give Niranjan a chance to pull ahead here, but Bart is obviously there. Hinz is obviously there on bars. He's worrying about that, but he's starting to drop back. I think Hinz has stopped worrying about this top three and focusing on consolidating the fit that he has. DeVos, though, has got to start thinking about a move sooner or later, as I think we're actually headed towards another time limited. Oh, no, Bart! Bart contacting spins, and that's gone wrong for him. Hinz into fourth, and all of a sudden he's on for the podium.
That was terrible for DeVos. He just Muscat went a bit wide through turn one. DeVos just got off his inside, but it was a bit of a half a move, and big contact there for DeVos. Hit the Armco barrier as well, and we'll have to see, has he got damage? It looks like he might have a bit of damage here, just to make it even worse.
Yep, I think we're on for another time limited race. I think we're only going to get 12 laps done out of 13 perhaps, and well, that's going to be interesting to see for Stefano, if that saves him perhaps from the charge of Muscat and Hinz, though Hinz chasing down Muscat for the podium now. Now, he couldn't see it before, he can see it now.
He can. This is Hinz's chance. Let's see. Is Hinz got a bit more? Can he do something about Muscat? Can he get past? I think if he can, he's got a chance of maybe making this a 1-2 for Hinz. Well, the whole team, won't it? Hinz Motorsport. So this is a big lap or two, I think, now for Muscat.
Oh, Hinz just goes a bit too deep into that turn there, but Sven de Vries still a while behind. Doesn't need to worry about the onslaught yet, but I think he's starting to feel the pressure, Hinz. You know, a double top four would be his best result in sim racing ever. And, you know, that is probably, you know, going to be him. He's going to be like, I'm on top of the world now. But, you know, Wesley Stefano would be about to make history in his own right. Hinz will be happy. This is going to propel the team really towards the top of the championship standings and put both drivers in championship contention.
Yeah, it is really, isn't it? This is really all about what's going to happen now in the next couple of laps or so. And it looks like after that initial pressure by Hinz, he's just fallen back a little bit from Muscat, and maybe not able to do it. We've got 4 minutes left then, so what's that going to equate to? That's 3 laps left to go in this race, isn't it?
Yeah, looking like we're going to have a 12-lap race rather than a 13, but as we say, you know, that doesn't change much for the likes of Hinz and Muscat. They'll still be battling, but for Stefano, it can make his race if he can keep ahead of Kumar, and Kumar might have caught him in the time, but Hinz now, he's going to have the inside of the Kleiner chicane. Can he outbrake Muscat? No, he can't. He's going to have to see if Muscat gets the exit wrong, which he does not. So no dice for Hinz there. Holds on to 4th. And, well, Bart DeVos starting to make his way back in the order. He's in 6th now, but that was a rare mistake to drop that place to Hinz. In the first places, Wesley Stefano's made a crucial mistake there somewhere, and Niranjan Kumar starting to close in.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I didn't see it, but because I saw Shepard had gone off the track. But definitely Stefano perhaps starting to feel the pressure now. No real pressure from behind, but the pressure of a potential win. That's surely got to be going through his head.
I think he must have just slowed down a bit, because Kumar gained ground. Stefano didn't make a mistake, but he's starting to lose the ground again, is Niranjan. So it may just have been a blip, really, but yeah, Stefano back on it, but the pressure certainly on if it wasn't before. Not just for the likes of Stefano and that, but for Hinz as well, who's chasing Muscat. We lose Tobias Olsen as well, meaning we're only looking to have 15 finishers.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, there's another guy gone, Simon Watman, of course, to the lap down as well. I keep looking at Hinz. He's so good on the brakes, you know. He's so late on the brakes, and he can just really get all the speed scrubbed off by the time he hits the apex. But he's just not close enough to Muscat coming out of the corner, and that's the problem right now. He needs to be a bit closer coming out of some of these corners to have a potential chance of getting past.
There's only so much adhesion on the track, though. He doesn't want to push it too hard, and I think maybe consolidating fourth might be the better option for Hinz here. That's not going to stop him from pushing for third. It never will. But he's really got to watch it. Muscat goes wide, though. Hinz has got a tank slapper on. This could end disastrously if it goes wrong. But Hinz down the inside of the climb again. He's level this time with Muscat under braking, and this time he hits the brakes at just the right time to secure the inside. And Muscat, muscles his way back through the off, and he spins! Oh no, but he's got to get it turned around quick! Quick, Hinsey, get it spun round, man! Send de Vries is on the way now, and Hinsey's going to re-accelerate, and Sven's going to get through, but still top 5 on for Hinz at this rate, but that was unfortunate. Just the slightest bit of contact with Muscat there. Yeah, Muscat turned in. He turned in. He was trying to go through. Did Hinz turn in on Muscat? I don't know. Might have been, but that just dropped him enough, and he drops the position to de Vries. That will annoy Hinz. I hope it doesn't break his concentration, though.
Yeah, I think that's just two guys racing as hard as they can at that point in time. That is unfortunate for Hinz. Maybe he could have broke a little bit later into the chicane there, just to get that little bit of an edge on Muscat, because Muscat held his own around the outside of the first part of the chicane, and that gave him the perfect drive coming out the second half of the chicane, where he basically took the inside, got the apex, and took off then. So good driving by Muscat in terms of just keeping it in there, and I just feel sorry for Hinz.
This might be the last lap of the race then, if we are going to a time limit race. If we're not, we're doing the full 13 laps, then so be it. But if Thomas Hinz is annoyed by that incident, he certainly isn't showing it. He's still full throttle going for Sven de Vries. He wants to get back into fourth. He is not fazed by what's just occurred. He's getting the back out to an enormous degree. He's practically pushing in the car. He's doing it to buy his holes in here. He's going all out his Hinz. I hope he can hold on to that car, because, you know, he's really making a good chance of this. I think we have now run out of time in this race. We are 100% of the way through. This might be the last lap. And Fuller in P7 on for a good end as well.
Yeah, Fuller's done a great job. He's passed Rick Scott, and of course benefited from Shepherd making a mistake as well. Just looked really consistent this race. So he's definitely got these cars worked out, and he seems to like the wet too. So great effort.
Yeah, he's got this absolutely sorted, this race, Mark Fuller. Sterling result from him. He'll be very happy with this. But someone who'll be even happier than Mark Fuller, happier than Thomas Hinz, Sven de Vries, Jason Muscat, and Niranjan Kumar, is Wesley Stefano. He comes round the Jackie X chicane now, and in that Hinz Motorsport Renault Megane, he must be the happiest Dutchman in the world right now, because he knows, does Wesley Stefano, he's just made history. He wins for the very first time in WCS. Takes the first victory for Hinz Motorsport in WCS. And what a way to win it. He took the lead. He held the lead. A dominant performance from Wesley Stefano. Niranjan Kumar second. Full praise to the Indian. He deserves as much credit. A fantastic race from him too. Jason Muscat third for Multiforce GP in a what could have been race from the Maltese, but he should be happy with the podium. Sven de Vries fourth, a good result again from the Dutchman, and Thomas Hinz fifth, a double top 5 for everybody's favourite Australian. Bart de Vos only 6th after winning race 1, but still a respectable result. Mark Fuller a very respectable 7th. Chris Shepard 8th, Rick Scott 9th, which for him will be great. He was 6th at points in that race. Daniel Sharangi rounds out top 10, then it's Eric Golodakis from Kevin Samet, David Nichols, Eric Stanford, and Simon Muttman. Your retirements, and there is a lot of them. Tobias Olsen, Roy Shorten, Dan Brewer, Niels Voss, Argo Tina, Roland Hutt, Dan Hutt, and Roy Bazile. I told you race 2 was going to be good, but nobody could have telegraphed that.
No, that was crazy, and well, I probably have to apologise to Stefano and Kumar as well. I really did not think that they were going to be able to stand out there and hold on to those positions at first and second place. But they proved me wrong, and they drove a perfect race, both of them. They can really be pleased with that. Stefano had the pressure, of course, of picking up his first win and the team's first win, and I'm sure that went through his head a few times, but he pulled it off, and what a fantastic result for him. No one ever really came close to having a go at him for the majority of that race, so Stefano should be very pleased with himself there today. He didn't win it, like I said before, he didn't win it through any kind of luck or fluke or anything like that. He just kept the car on the track, kept it all pointing in the right direction, kept his cool, that he thoroughly deserved to take that victory.
Yeah, a fantastic, fantastic result in the end. And, well, we're going to get some people in for interviews now, as is the custom after races. And we're going to start with the winner of race 1 and 6th placer in race 2, Bart DeVos. Great to have you with us as ever, Bart. And a bit of a mixed race weekend for you. You got the brilliant race win in race 1. Really just dominant performance, as we saw from you last season in the BMWs. But race 2 didn't quite go your way.
Yeah, race 1 was good. I managed to get a pole position, which I knew was very important with the wet. It went with a good start. I had a clean race without any spray. So it was, I had it more difficult, more easy conditions than the other guys who had spray. Then in the second race, there was a lot of trouble in the opening lap, so I managed to gain a couple of places. But it was difficult to pass Jason. Then he made him went a little bit wide, and I tried to go to the inside, but it was not a good move, and I spun the car and had damage.
Yeah, easy to do. I mean, it is very rare we see Bart DeVos make a mistake, but it's still a very solid race weekend for you, and you won't be worrying about that being your job score, because you got a win in it.
Exactly, yeah. I'm more happy about the win, and I'm disappointed with the result, and P6 is not that bad. It's still okay.
Yeah, P6 very, very respectable. I do not blame you for liking P6. It's a very good result. And, well, you know, being up here consistently, you know, it's got to really improve your confidence in your championship hopes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We've had 2 races with Ray now. It seems like the weather conditions. But in the dry, I think I'm missing a bit of pace at the moment.
Well, you're obviously not doing that bad if you're winning races, though, are you, Bart DeVos? Thank you very much for joining us, and the best of luck to you in your championship campaign.
Thank you.
And, well, now we get to go to the one, the only, the history maker in his own darn right, Wesley Stefano, joining us in the broadcast booth. Firstly, congratulations on your first WCS win. It's one I didn't expect, one a lot of people didn't expect, but you've done it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I can't believe it myself.
I can tell you're happy about that, by the way you're speaking. You must feel so good finally breaking your WCS duck.
Yeah, finally, man. The car was not great, but I don't know how I kept in front, man. I don't know. I literally don't know.
Well, sometimes the best races are won just by staying ahead, you know, and you've done a fantastic job of that. So, brilliantly done for you, Wesley. You think you can win again this season?
I hope so.
Well, yeah, maybe we all hope we can win, but yeah. What a race from you as well.
My focus is more on GP3, but yeah, this is great.
Yeah, great stuff to see. A new winner in WCS as well. You know, we almost saw 2 new winners, because we're also joined by Thomas Hinds, who's had the stunning race doubly over here. And, well, we always pretty much invite you in anyway, Hindsy, but we're finally glad to have you here in Merit.
Yeah, thanks. It was, surprising. I mean, I just sort of, as always, just sort of turned up. I hadn't actually done a lap before the official session. I just kind of turned up and went, yeah, we'll see how it goes, you know, usual deal. And it seemed to work well on the wet, as always. So thank you, wet conditions. I do like you a lot. It's nearly, not quite, but nearly is similar to what it's like driving the V8 in iRacing in any conditions, you know, whether it be prime, grip or not. If you want boat, that thing is the boat of all boats. But yeah, no, it was great fun. Race 1, got a good lap in quali early. Not quick enough for Bart though, but just put in the stunning lap there at the start, and then just got a good start. I think it was 3rd, and then Tobias made a little mistake at the last corner. I was able to through it getting all pushed. Able to sneak by into turn 1. And from there it was just keep it in second. Really, I tried to catch Bart, but he was just too quick. I mean, the best I could do was match him really, but he responded when I tried to pick up the pace. So I just kind of settled for second in the end, and it took a bit too much fuel at the stop, so nearly lost second there when I took a bit much fuel, but worked out in the end and was able to stretch the legs again and just sort of held second. So it was a nice, relatively chilled finish, which is good. Race 2. I mean, it's always going to be chaotic with reverse top 10 with the weather. So, I was expecting some interesting moments, but it was good fun, good battles, and me and Jason had a little contact, but we were just racing for position, of course, and going through that chicane was always going to be difficult side by side. So, it's not a big deal really, and still top 5 anyway. So good stuff. Double top 5. Wesley, of course, with the phenomenal win as well. Amazing, just rock solid in that second race, which is fantastic. Really nice round, and hopefully keep it going for the next one.
You've been threatening, really, a win in WCS for a while now. We've all know you've got the talent, you've got the pace. It's just luck has never really been on your side. And you've had a stunning opening to this Menno Megane season. You've had some brilliant results. Do you think maybe in the opening, and now you've got these races out of the way, now you know you're fantastic in these cars, do you think it could finally come to you?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice, but as I've said to Wesley, just with this series, I'm doing it more for fun. That was the whole point of me doing it, because it's fix it up, and I could just do my thing of turning up and racing, and it suits my style of doing that pretty well, being fix it up. So yeah, I mean, it'd be cool, but I'm just here to have a good time. So I don't mind too much. We'll see. I think I think in the dry I'm not as quick in these things as in the wet. I think being the wet and just with my style being very conservative, generally quite conservative anyway, that's sort of the wet and having to be really, really cautious suits my style a bit more than in the dries. So I think in the dry I don't think I have the pace to challenge for wins, but as I said, as long as I have a good time is the main thing. And as I said, 2 races with good results and had some great battling debuts. So to me it's a awesome round. So great stuff.
Can't argue with that, can you, really? The Thunder from down under himself, Thomas Hinz, and of course his winning teammate, Wesley Stefano, both Hinz Motorsport, both title contenders and both brilliant drivers. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Wesley, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And I think last we are going to have on the broadcast list is a certain Swede joining us in the broadcast booth. And, well, it's got to be Tobias Olsson joining us. Tobias, welcome to the broadcast booth. And you've had several moments during that race there that really piqued our interest.
You mean in race 1? Yeah.
In both of them. You were quite good, really.
Race 1 was pretty fun, but I had a hard time preserving the tires, so I couldn't really keep the same pace as Bart there, and Thomas was really quick as well. So and then Sven come from behind, and it was much fun though.
That's what it's all about, really enjoying yourselves. And, with the way you drive the car, where we've been watching you, the way you drive the car, you just seem to pretty much be on maximum attack all the time. It can't be anything but fun when you got the car sliding around at those angles.
No, it's mostly maximum attack. I really don't have any normal mode. It's just max or nothing. Yeah,
I mean, it's just we've been reserving throughout the time we've seen you. It's just like you were always on it 100%. You don't have I'm going to back off a bit. Nope, it's pretty much maximum attack with Tobias Olsson. But it's led you to some great results in WCS, and evidently it works.
Yeah, apparently it does, so that's good.
So going forward into the championship then, obviously, if we get a dry race, do you think we'll see the full, Tobias Olsson potential come out?
Yeah, I felt I had a really good pace in the dry for the qualifying, and then the rain came, and I guess Bart did a lap early on in the qualifying there, and I managed to improve my last lap before the time to 0. So.
Yeah, I mean, it would Bob maybe timed it better in the qualifying. He still got second in that, though, and that's, I think, proof of it, really, that wet weather, dry weather, it doesn't matter. This Swede shall not be ignored, and he's always one to look out for. Thank you, Tobias Olsson, for joining us. A pleasure to have you with us in the broadcast booth as ever.
Thanks.
And I do believe that is our last interview. So we're going to wrap this broadcast up now with a Sam Jones interview of our own right. Of course, it wouldn't be a broadcast without asking the co-commentator how he thought the race went.
Yeah, I thought it was a great couple of rounds. Well, great couple of races, I should say, today to make the second round extra special. And surprise win in race 2 as well after a dominant win in race 1. It was definitely 2 different types of races, but 2 fantastic races to watch. And it's pretty much flown by. And it's going to be a shame now that we have to wait another 2 weeks for the next one. It's been that good.
It is. It's going to be a big shame that we have to wait until next Wednesday for the, it's not this Wednesday, it's next Wednesday for the next WCS race. That'll be the GP3 Series race in about 9 days' time. So, be back for that, of course. But, and well, before I do go, I would just like to do a couple of thank yous, as I always seem to do these days. Obviously, I'd like to thank Sam Jones for joining me in the broadcast booth as co-commentator, and Menno Klont for doing cameras, Bart DeVos, Thomason, Tobias Olsen, Wesley Stefano, all for joining us in the interview booth, as well as anyone else who's of note. So, with that in mind, I'm Josh Anderson, he's Sam Jones, he's also Menno Klont. We got lots of he's in the broadcasts, and well, 9 days from now, we'll be talking about the GP3 series when that comes back. But until then, have a good evening and happy racing.
Bye-bye.